Hi, everybody. I'm Kyoka, the Awkward Black Nomad, here with my lovely co host.
YVONNE of
YVONNE of
YVONNE
YVONNE
McGrath Lit
McGrath
Life.
Lit Life. And today we are doing our Read and Wonder book discussion where we're talking about When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This was a fun read. I
It was a
enjoyed
good
it. It was a
read.
good read. This was a good read this time. It was a suspense thriller about, I had prepared to read a synopsis, but maybe I'll just say it on top of my dome, about gentrification, about racism, about the man,
About them
about them
people coming
people
into our
coming into our
community and
community
and
and
our people
our people
disappearing.
disappearing. Yeah. And in
Mhm.
our beds.
Mhm. That part.
That part. That part.
Yes.
Okay, so where do you want to start? You want to start with what you liked about the book?
I want to
I
start
want
with
to start
the with the
with the
overall
overall
concept,
concept,
right?
right?
Um,
Um,
Lisa Cole
Alyssa
wrote the
Cole
book.
wrote the book.
I think
I think
from the
from the
beginning she
beginning
sets
she
up.
sets
So
up. So
it's about a
it's about a
neighborhood in
neighborhood in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
It's a
It's a
fictional
fictional
neighborhood in
neighborhood
Brooklyn
in
called
Brooklyn
Gifford
called
Place.
Gifford Place.
But
But
she
she
sets
sets
up the
up the
premise
premise
immediately.
immediately.
She
She
sets
sets
the
the
setting.
setting.
She puts
She
us
puts us
there
there
effortlessly,
effortlessly,
immediately.
immediately.
Um,
Um,
she does a
she does a
good
good
job
job
painting the
painting the
neighborhood for
neighborhood
us,
for us,
even before
even
she
before
gets to
she
like
gets to
the other
like the other
characters.
characters.
We're
We're
strolling along
strolling
the
along the
neighborhood. We
neighborhood.
can
We can
envision it.
envision it.
She
She
grounds us.
grounds
The
us. The
descriptions are
descriptions are
really
really
done really
done
well.
really well.
And
And
from the
from
first
the
start, from
first
the
start,
first
from the first
page,
page,
her
her
voice,
voice,
like
like
she has
she has
discovered the
discovered the
master of her
master of
voice
her
and is
voice
not
and is not
scared to
scared
use
to
it.
use it. Yeah.
So I
So
felt
I felt
comfortable
comfortable
within like the
within
first
like the
five
first
pages.
five
Like,
pages.
okay,
Like,
this is
okay, this is
somebody.
somebody.
I'm gonna read
I'm
this
gonna read
book
this
throughout.
book
I can
throughout. I
tell
can tell
immediately.
immediately.
It
It
engaged me,
engaged me,
right?
right?
She put the
She put the
concept
concept
without being
without being
wordy
wordy
about
about
telling.
telling.
She
She
showed us
showed us
what
what
the
the
conflict was going
conflict
to
was going
be
to be
from the
from the
beginning,
beginning,
which is
which is
gentrification
gentrification
and
and
the
the
battle
battle
for this
for this
neighborhood,
neighborhood,
for the
for the
ownership and
ownership and
the
the
imprint that
imprint
this
that this
neighborhood meant to
neighborhood meant to
her.
her.
So yeah,
So yeah,
I thought it
I
was.
thought it was.
I thought
I
she's a
thought she's a
great
great
writer,
writer,
and
and
I from the
I from the
beginning knew
beginning
we were
knew
going
we
to
were
get
going to
like a
get
good
like a good
story.
story. Yeah, she did really well, and the neighborhood in this book felt like, can you, hey Ashley, girl, we said hello, girl, you late, but hello. Black folk, we speak
Who
when we
said?
come
Can you say
into.
hello,
Say
please?
hello, please.
Hey.
Hey, hey Ashley, hey cousin. Black folk, we speak when we come into the room, so please drop down in the comment section. Tell us hi. If you're wondering what we're doing, we are having a book discussion about When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. If you would like to join us for this live discussion, and you are, in fact, a black woman, you can join our Read and Wonder book club. Oh, is it Benita? Pray tell, where are you, ma'am?
She's up here
She's
with
up here
me
with
in this
me in this
snow. It's
snow. It's
snowing
snowing. Is it? It's snowing
in
in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yes. Oh. Oh, and I also would like to say, I block people, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. So if you're feeling froggy, get blocked. Um, and hi, Sharisa. Oh, okay, girl. Bye, bye, girl. You right. Um,
Just randoms.
random. Hi, Terry. So yeah, I was saying I do enjoy the setting of this novel. The book itself was beautifully written. The neighborhood that Sydney lived in, it felt like home to me. Like I feel like it could have been any black neighborhood USA, right?
Yeah.
Where like we know our neighbors. I think black people specifically, I think any people of color, we are really good about building community anywhere we go. So she was in a neighborhood with people who have seen her grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they cared for each other. They kind of knew each other's business child, and they looked out for each other. So I think right from the beginning we were oriented in the story very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the protagonist, her name is Sydney. Um, we're thrown to her frame of mind really quickly with her mother being ill. That's what we think at the beginning. Um, her trying to hold on to her mother's house while her mother is in the hospital, and her looking at the neighborhood changing, her observing how the neighborhood changed, the new neighbors who are moving in, um, trying to claim and erase the history of the neighborhood, and we're placing her with some other books we've read where we're like looking in on the story or the person's life from the outside. I felt like we were really looking at the book or looking at the story through her eyes, through her perspective, really easily. Like not, I didn't have to put myself in her place. I was through the story. I was already there. I don't know if you felt the same way, but I was like, okay, this is really her point of view.
Yeah. Bonita says, "Yep, felt like home to me. I wanted to go back to Brooklyn. I love the neighbors." And Ashley says, "Oh, she's going to like and subscribe." Yes, girl, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Is there an echo? It could be me because I'm using a
I
microphone.
think I have an echo.
I could turn it off. We could try
No,
it.
it's not. You don't have an echo. I do. And I don't. I'm not using a mic, so I don't know how to fix it.
Let me see. Let me see if me turning it off does something.
Ashley, I'm curious. Have you read the book yet? Why are you making that face, Key? You can't hear? I can't hear you now.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you now.
But wait, your voice sounds crazy.
Okay, let me come out and come back in.
Yeah, come out and come back in.
Okay.
Y'all, I be trying to do different stuff, like trying to upgrade the tech. I got a microphone, I got some lights, and I'm just messing it up. I always want to try new stuff when I go live, and I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But can you hear me? Is there an echo still? Let me know in the comment section if there's still an echo.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Why do you sound like an alien?
I don't know. Do I sound like an alien to those in the chat?
Is it just, well, wait, do the viewers hear her voice sounding like that, or is it just me?
It might be my connection.
Crazy work. Say something again, Yvonne.
Hello, people. How are you?
Okay, it's better.
It's better? Okay.
Yes.
I think
Okay,
I
and they
had my
both sound
volume turned up too much.
okay. If anybody wants to be hired for free as my sound and tech person, make yourselves available.
Yes.
Out of the kindness of your heart. Okay. What were we talking about? Keylove, is this me? I feel like I've done this before. Okay, the book. I did like how she oriented us in the setting. I liked the gentrification. I also liked how she did this thing like with Sydney playing on her paranoia and the kind of gaslighting, because I think oftentimes like in the real world, in society, Black people are often gaslit a lot when they see something racist is happening. But we feel like, okay, why would they do that? Am I crazy? Am I going crazy? And it literally feels like you're going crazy because logically it doesn't make sense. And she played with that a lot, putting Sydney in these really difficult, kind of crazy situations where it's like there were times where I was listening to the audiobook and I was like, is this happening? For real? Like, and no one's, does anybody see this happening?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like the way Theo played off, like, can you not see this? Even like when, okay, we're jumping ahead though, but when you saw the man come out the white van and
Right.
you, as Theo, watched the man and then came over because you saw the man, and both of you see this man, you know it's strange, you know she didn't need any work in her house, you know she didn't call this man, and then Theo doesn't take it to heart. Like they recognize it, they acknowledge it, but then it goes away. Like this is something normal, as opposed to, especially him. And but that's, I like the characterization of Theo, because we wanted him to be on her side immediately, right? We wanted him to see the things that she saw immediately. I like that they made him a white character. We'll get into that, but I like that they made him a white character because we needed to see the other side for the book. We need, not necessarily that they need to get together, but I like we needed a different perspective other than Sydney's to see what was going on in this neighborhood and to get the other side of the historical part.
Bonita says paranoia lives in our minds. Everything and everyone is a suspect. It
Yes.
got to that point too,
Yeah.
where even I was looking at Theo kind of crazy. I like that part.
Yes. Yes. That she was like, wait a minute, I can't trust you either. In the end, even when, like, I think when they start getting to the dramatic part, the climax part, like, oh, it's about to go down, all of that paranoia. And, the little, we didn't know if she was an unreliable character because she kept talking about her time in, when she did have the little mental breakdown after her divorce.
Why did they put her in the psych ward? Did she ever explicitly say that?
I think her husband admitted her. They
Yep.
didn't they didn't say
Yeah.
it. He didn't say it, but it was like, you were to make that assumption from all the description that she was talking about her past marriage and
Yeah.
how he was trying to gaslight her then, right? That goes back to your gaslighting comment, because now she can't trust herself. Like, her husband had put that trauma on her. Like, is this real? Is this me being, out of pocket? Is this me being paranoid? And we talked about that in her past, so now she's bringing that experience to her present. But they never explicitly said why she was there, but you can assume from context that her husband had put her there.
Yeah,
because she was unstable.
definitely. And I have in my notes that I want to bring up. This reminds me of something Toni Morrison said about racism being used as a distraction to waste time and to force you into justifying your humanity. Like you're constantly proving your worth, constantly needing to feel validated when you're doing all of that. Meanwhile, they're taking your homes, they're kidnapping people.
Yes. Yes.
Like
And
actually,
experimenting on the people. Yes.
exactly. So it
Yes.
was crazy to actually see this through the novel happening in real time.
Right. Because I kept saying, okay, get to the thriller part. They described it as a thriller. And I'm like, okay, well, right now it's a
It's
novel.
just right. At first, I was just like, okay, it's just run of the mill standard Black
Right.
experiences.
Right. It was a lot of setup. But then when they got to the thriller, it was like two different books put together.
Yeah.
How I was, yeah. Because once you get, it wasn't even the climax, but once you got to like, 2/3, then you got to the thriller part. Like, oh, this is what they're doing. Oh, it was a great build up though. It was a great the tension. She did a good job establishing tension throughout the book.
Yeah. Key Love says she hasn't read the book, but paranoia is survival hypervigilance, which is a safety response.
That fits actually, especially
Yeah.
from what was going on with her mother, right? She didn't come from she wasn't in a stable place anyway, because she was, in the process of grieving. It was delayed grief because she didn't want to accept it. So
Yeah.
that, given that part, that actually fits perfectly. That's a
Well, and
perfect.
then we find out too that she's been harboring a secret that she's hiding from other members of her community. And I think that's also why it made it hard when all these different things were happening in the neighborhood. It kind of made it hard because she was herself isolating because she knew, older black people are nosy. She knew that they was gonna get in her business. They was already asking, well, where your mom at? Well, how's she doing? Da, 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 da. So they was already prying. But then
Yeah,
when all this crazy stuff started happening, she had been isolating. So it's not like she could go to them and say, hey, these really weird experiences are happening, or I don't feel safe in my home and different
right.
things like that. She couldn't lean on her community because she had this really big secret that she was trying to keep from everybody.
And she couldn't share, even like from when the first, I guess, situation happened when she got into the lift and it wasn't a lift.
Yes.
Like when she got, and it was like, okay, this is actually, this has happened. This is like,
I
it's not
know.
like this is a thriller.
I
This has
was
actually happened. It was kind of like a what is it called? What is that man's name? Us. It was kind of like a Us thriller, like like, oh, he's taking real life occurrences and making
right.
them horror, because that was crazy. And then even after that, she was like, am I tripping? Like, did it even happen? Did the situation, am I making this up? Did it even happen? And she couldn't share that with anyone. She didn't even tell Drea. Well,
Well, she
eventually
didn't have proof, like because the Uber, I think afterwards the Uber ride
it disappeared.
disappeared, or the Lyft ride, whatever, it disappeared from her phone, so she had no record of it. But
Right.
she knew she had gotten to her hair appointment.
Right. Right. But I
Yeah.
like that she, is like, okay, this is that was, I'm giving that as an example of her building the circumstances and the tension and putting us in her frame of mind. Like, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
because if it happened to you, you would be like, but who can I tell? I would have told you. I would have told somebody.
I would have
I
told
would have
some.
told everybody, like, hey, this is happening. But for the sake of the story, I thought that was good.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there was a moment where I was like, "Girl, are you crazy?" Like I thought that was gonna be the thriller. I thought that it was just gonna be like we're inside of her mind at the end of the story, and she just lost it.
Like,
Like
what was the movie with Halle Berry, and she was in a asylum, and
Gothica.
you couldn't. Yes, and you couldn't tell. I'm like, throughout, I'm like, this girl crazy. I was like, she is crazy. She crazy. Yeah, yeah. Like, who is it? Is it her just mentally breaking down?
But
Bonita
it is
said, yeah.
refresh my mind. What was the secret? Can we tell the secret? Well, I guess we're gonna be spoiling anyway.
Okay. Before we get to the secret, though, let's okay. Before we get to the secret, or did you? Was it a surprise? I knew kind of soon.
I knew very early. Oh, her mom died. I knew
Yeah,
very early. I feel
and
like,
she was
but I
trying
was
to.
surprised that
Yeah,
she buried her in the community garden.
yeah. I didn't know. The surprise was she was buried in the community garden. I knew because throughout the book she kept talking about her mom, like, but we're never going to the hospital, so her mom is gone. I
Yeah,
kind of knew that, but I didn't know she was in the garden. Was a surprise for me that she had
yeah.
buried her in the garden.
And then we never found. Did we find out where they put her body at the end?
No, they never told. They just said the old people moved it. They
Yeah,
just said they
but
moved.
I'm like, I also feel like, okay, how big was this lady? Because y'all picking her up, putting her back down, picking her up again, digging her. You got to dig a grave 6 feet. You was out
Well,
there digging by yourself. Dirt is hard to dig. I just in the middle of the night and nobody was
but
asking questions.
but
Like
all the seniors, it's the seniors. When they said the seniors went to go get it, I'm like, who's help? Who helped y'all? Because y'all couldn't lift that
there's no way.
lady. Y'all
There's no
couldn't
way.
lift her.
And then everybody, all of a sudden, at the end, all the old people got real cognizant. Like they knew what was going on. Everybody lucid. when
No, I knew the old people had something. I knew the old people were. You just don't. Characters aren't there just to be there. I knew they were going to have some type of involvement in the conclusion, and I knew they weren't as crazy as they. Even the
yeah.
one who was not talking, the one who shouted out Theo was like, "You are white. You are one of them. Get out. Get out. Get out." I knew, you know, they're around for a reason, but to say that they dug that lady up was crazy.
And carried her somewhere. Bonita says them old people were on it. Why didn't Sydney's neighbors tell her what they knew, what they were doing? I wondered about that too, like because they didn't really intervene until the story was almost over.
I I don't know. I think it's it served the purpose for the book. I had wished they had hinted more like foreshadowing.
Mm.
Um trying to lead, especially when her and Theo came to see them and asked them about like the history of the neighborhood. I wish they had put some more hints in so that we would know, and not it wasn't a surprise at the end.
I agree.
Yeah.
What did you think about Theo?
So like I said, I'm glad he wasn't when I'm not gonna say I'm glad he was white. If it was going to be a white person, um, she did a good job with his character arc. She did a good job with his character arc. And he could have been with Lululemon and have been like a black detached man. Would have gave the same feel because he would be like, "Oh, I'm affluent. I'm not from this neighborhood." He could have, and then it still would have worked the same.
Are you comparing a black man to a white man? Are you
Yes.
saying that they would have
Yeah, the character arc could have been the same, especially nowadays when so many have cognitive dissonance and they don't realize that they are black. But again, I'm glad his Theo's characterization was good. Um, the stalkerish part, I was okay with it. I was okay with the stalkerish part. He was watching her. He didn't have a job. Um,
did they have to do so much to make him like okay? I feel like that was a little too heavy-handed. He came from the trailer
the
park.
trailer park.
His mama's boyfriends used to abuse him.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't had no job. Then we find out the reason why he ain't had no job is because he been stealing the people money and he got ties to the Russian mafia. You need to be all of that for you to understand the plight of black folks.
He did not. That's why I said when I started, I was like, I'm glad he was white, but they could have did the same type of character for like a 10 talented 10th black guy who didn't
Benita
have.
said if he was a black man, I don't think he would have believed Sydney.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I was
And
hoping
him wanting Sydney, would that have worked? Since he was with crazy Lululemon. And then if it was the same character with Lululemon with all of that backstory, it would have been terrible. So the backstory couldn't have been that. His backstory couldn't have been trailer. His backstory couldn't have been he stole. No, it would have been he couldn't have the same backstory.
No, because he would have been in jail or
Right. That's
there would be
what
no
I said.
story.
Well, she said it. Yep, because he would have been in jail.
Yeah, we all criminals. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
He would have had a different character.
So before we jumped into the story, I thought when I read the synopsis that Theo was black. I thought, oh, this is the hood scholar or like the socially conscious black dude who that's what I thought I was getting. And then
Okay.
he teams up with not the smart fired up black woman and then they're gonna take down gentrification. I thought that's what we were reading. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, it's a white man. And then I understand I understand why he had to be white because he would have access in a way that Sydney wouldn't have. So there were certain scenes where people would just say off the hand, really like I was like, damn, y'all, this how y'all
Yeah,
feel? This what they be saying amongst each
yeah.
other? They were saying these things because they thought,
He was
oh,
he
you
was
know what I just thought about? He could have been biracial. He could have been
true,
biracial.
true.
And it probably still would have had the same kind of experience. But
Yeah.
yeah, I also thought the same, like, oh, here we go. I don't think that they needed to sleep together. I just kind of rolled my eyes about it. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't need romance, and people, I don't know. I think people think all women need romance and something like they need the man to get with the woman. Had they just did the research and kept it light, I would have been fine.
It was fine that he had a crush on her. I
Yeah,
think that's fine, but they didn't need to sleep together. I mean,
yeah,
I think like there was too much work to be done. we were
yes.
we out here killing people.
Especially when they were in the thick of it and they were shooting and you pausing to have conversation like, come on, y'all. This is not the time they are shooting at you. This is not the time to have, are we gonna do this after? Or are we gonna get together after this? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think also too like I don't know, I'm thinking like what labor is the romance element doing, right? So
Right.
are we trying to say that Sydney, although she's like headstrong and maybe a little crazy, we don't know, she's still desirable, she's still like, but it's like, do we really need to make a black woman desirable in a story like this where we're talking about gentrification? It almost pulls away from the story.
I'm thinking it kind of because when they did it, it was like it was from her point of view that she needed
Mm,
somebody. So like she needed something to take her mind off of it. I did earmark the part. It was a good description. Like she needed something just physical touch. She needed something to escape to. And escapism is how I was reading there how she wanted him, right? Because she was the
mm,
initiator, all of that, right? So I think it to me, it was like this relationship is helping her. And he was just the body there to do it. So I didn't read that deep into it because I
okay.
felt like for Sydney, she needed some her mama was gone. She couldn't find Drea, who was the person who's going to give her something,
Yeah.
take her mind off of her, breakdown. She was having a breakdown.
Yeah, she was. And then I think also too, like intimacy, like sometimes intimacy isn't necessarily physical. She had just lost her mom. She did
Yeah.
lose contact with her best friend, and she thought her best friend was angry with her and
Yeah.
wasn't speaking to her. So she was blaming herself for a lot of things. She probably ain't had a hug in a while, you know.
Yes,
She just
exactly.
needed something
Exactly. When you go through grief, and she was grieving. She was still grieving. You need somebody, baby. You need somebody. Theo was
tell
there.
your business.
Yes. Yes. Um,
When he said no, we don't, I agree. It did pull away from the story. They could have been friends, flirting. Like men and women cannot be warrior friends. Listen, you gotta get the gun. We got a
yeah.
cause,
And
okay?
even if they had had sex and it wasn't, because at the end now you want to pretend like they're together. I don't need them to be together. That don't need to be the wrapping at the end. Just let it be that and to go on. Like people have flings and just let it be that.
And then he hesitated when he was pulling the gun on the whip on Lululemon. So don't hesitate. If you for me, plow her down, take her out.
He
What are
didn't
you
want to
thinking
kill
about?
He didn't want to kill nobody. He didn't want to kill nobody. Kill nobody. He didn't. But what about Drea? I gotta get into that. That was you
So
took
layered.
money. You took money from these people to help them take my mama's house. Once I found out about that, like Sydney, she was really concerned about where Drea was. I would have been concerned about kicking Drea's. It's like, you, ma'am, where are you? I'm going to find you. Not my best friend who we took you in, you grew up with me in my house and you took money from these people.
Right.
I was highly, but I guess that, in Sydney's mind, she still needed somebody. Yeah,
I mean,
I would have
because
been after Drea. I would have been after
yeah,
Drea.
a weighted blanket. I love a weighted blanket. Actually, I sleep so well under my weighted blanket. You get a deeper sleep.
She needed something else than a blanket. She needed something else. She needed a little something else.
She needed
Uh,
to believe in herself. Sydney was getting on my nerves sometimes. Like, I was like, okay, girl, I know we got to carry a story forward, but there were times where I'm like, just feel validated in your experiences. Be like, experience anger, because I don't even feel like with the Drea thing that she came across as angry.
she
She was
wasn't. She
obviously
was concerned.
she was
She was scared that
concerned.
Drea was mad at her. Like what? What the hell? What? Because
Yeah,
cause she's so needy. Drea just sold your mama out. Your mama is gone. Her house is gone. You need to be hunting Drea. To
that's
be
your
hunting
house.
Drea.
Yes. That was
But
cool how they left her at the what was it, the bottom of the stairs or the
it was inside the wall. It was
inside
a
the wall.
yeah. I think she
You
was
know,
trying to get away. She was trying to get away. She knew they were in that house. They never reached her.
mm,
Or she must have ate something because it sounded like poison or something. When Sydney found her, she said it looked like she had been foaming from the mouth or something. It sounded like they had poisoned her. But it sounded like because with I think Theo had saw something or one of them had saw her like going. Oh no! When Sydney heard her going upstairs, when Sydney heard her going upstairs, it sounded like they were after her, and she knew about the secret passageway, so she
hmm
was in there, and she yeah.
that reminded me of what's that movie that John Carpenter, The People Under the Stairs?
Mm-hmm.
That reminded me of that.
But
This did feel like a bunch of different movies that I've
yeah,
seen.
I think Mina said it felt like they cloned Tyrone. It did at the end. It
Yeah.
sounded exactly like that. And I meant to look like was this after? Well, no, because the book came out about the same time, so it couldn't have been that she saw that because it takes a few years for a book to get from right to print. So I doubt if she had saw the movie and then start working on the book. I think they came out about the same time,
Yeah,
but it did,
very
yeah,
Tyrone.
because it was the
Um,
experimental part when they had them in the hospital experimenting when they disappeared all the people.
Benita said, didn't Theo's girlfriend try to poison him too? Yeah, with
Mm,
that wine.
mm-hmm. And then she talked to him, but that goes back to what you were saying, Kiyoka, about having access to what they were doing. We
Yeah.
needed we needed to know like what was going to be in their thread, right? In Lululemon's and her gang, right? We need to know
She
what they
was
were saying.
cold blooded.
She was her and
Lululemon
her.
was cold blooded. Kim, she
Yeah,
kicked that man out the house. I was like, is this legal?
yeah. It's not. It wasn't. If he is on the deed, ma'am, it
I was
is
like,
not. And then he
he
didn't
wrote that
even
down. Is
like.
this legal?
I needed him to fight back a little bit.
He was kind of a pushover.
He was.
I mean, both of them were kind of pushovers. Until they got the pum pums, they were both kind of pushovers.
And they were both a little slow. The only thing, like, I was like, okay, the thriller could have started earlier because they were like a little slow on the uptake. I know we did the research part, but we didn't get into that. We should. But the research part of it, I'm okay, good. And but I needed y'all were slow on the uptake because I need y'all to get to this. These people are trying to steal the neighborhood. It is an underground. I need y'all to get here quicker
Yeah.
so we can get to the thriller part.
I did think the whole Theo's perspective
My light
of
on.
him kind of like discovering his whiteness and like realizing
Yeah.
how black people were being treated, or how like he would notice that Lululemon was being kind of racist and wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Um just like little instances where he just was sort of aloof to the things happening around him. I do feel
Yeah.
that
I
was a
needed
little
him to be
heavy
more
handed.
vocal.
I
Yeah.
needed him to be vocal, but I also needed him to just have like some kind of awareness. And I wonder when this book was written, because I do think that there has been, like, after 2020 and the whole Black Lives Matter movement happened, I do want to say there's been like a little bit of
more awareness on
more awareness on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least they're not openly saying stupid thing. Well, child. But you know what I'm saying? Like they
And for
have a
him
little
to
bit
have
of a,
for him to have access to what they were actually saying, right?
and to still be
We should have
aloof.
talked it earlier. Like, this is not this what you're saying, because he kept saying this, he was uneasy with what they were saying. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. And you should have you should have been the one to bring it to her, like, hey, something's going on. This is what they're saying. We need to say, this guy coming out this white van, you needed to put, like, you can't be that slow. You can't be that slow.
But he was. And I don't understand. I don't understand why he's doing this historical research, right? Like learning about these things happening. How do you not see it happening in real time as you research and as you talk to the white people around you and how they speak, saying like us and
Right.
them language, and like getting those people out. They were saying, I mean, they were saying all kind of stuff, like getting those people out of our neighborhoods, or oh, that house is wasted on that person. And it's like it doesn't take much for you to imply what
That's racist.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know at all.
Yeah.
Some of them refuse to believe this is really how they feel about Black people. Well,
right. Because Benita said, what about the attack at the bodega? Like, from the beginning, when Lululemon's, her white tears, right? You just step over that, Theo. You didn't
and you
even
don't say anything. He didn't
what
say
I
anything
would
to her.
really. And then I'm like, okay, so he's in her house. He thinks she's the money person. Is he not saying anything because she's the power, because of the power dynamic in this relationship? But still, you're a man. I needed you to say something. Like, stop these white tears. Or not say that, but ma'am, you are overreacting. What are you doing? Like, he never checked her.
Like at all. Like he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Because I think also too, like, I think he just had bad self-esteem. Because it's not that he didn't have a job, but he obviously had something, and he did invest in the house. So like it's not like, oh, she's paying all the
He
bills.
stole money to get to invest in the house. I stole money so I can
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you have a little bit of something. So put some bass back in your voice. Yeah. We can't stand to see a weak man, child. Please.
Yeah.
Pull her together.
Yes.
It was sad.
Go ahead.
I said it was sad, and Theo knew she was lying about that attack. Yeah, he knew. He witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
Abdul getting yanked up. I was shocked when that happened.
I knew Abdul was. I knew, from the premise, and from when Mr. Perkins, that was his name. When Mr. Perkins
the dog
disappeared, I was like, okay, here it comes. Everybody's starting to disappear. Yeah. So when they said the gates were closed, I was like, okay, then Abdul was gone too. But I want to get into the research part of the history of Gifford Place is made up, but the Bed-Stuy history of when they went to the museum, I thought this book was by coincidence, a great follow-up for what we have done with Zeal, right? Because it kind of is like we left Zeal with, okay, the Reconstruction, and then the history about a little bit of history about New York. But now we have another book who the protagonist is doing research on her neighborhood and how the Dutch settled in that some parts of Bed-Stuy, some parts of New York, and then where those early settlements went and how I thought that was really interesting. They did a really great job of detailing what happened to the early residents of that area.
Yeah, I think also, like, to tie in a historical element with what's happening currently. So while the not currently, but current in the book. So like while these sort of fantastical things are going on and you're kind of like, I can't believe this is really happening, it's being paired with,
Yes.
well, something like this actually
This is
has
it's
happened.
actually happening.
It
It
actually
happens
happened.
every day and it's not a
Right.
stretch, right?
And then it's like, and here's this thing that happened in history, and here's this thing that happened in history. So why
Yes.
is it that we can't make the leap to it's actually intentional? Like it's a straight line. It's intentional. They're doing it on
Yes.
purpose. It's
Yes.
happening day in, day out.
Yes. And it was intentional. Like once she drew the parallels, like, oh
Yeah.
shit. This it like what is happening in their neighborhood now is directly from the people who were doing it in the early 19th century and in the 20th century. Like it
Yeah.
was just,
Reestablishing the past. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The patterns, the past, and um like when they got into like the technical part of who owned the company, like even down to like through generations. I'm like, oh, she did an excellent job doing that.
Yeah.
And getting people, I said that's where you have a masterful storyteller. You're getting people to learn something that actually happened with with details, historical details that actually happened, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah. That is the hallmark of a good storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like how the system is far reaching. So then we got to the point where toward the end of the book where they actually kind of go behind the glass, right? And they see
Mm-hmm.
who the key players are, and it's a diverse room.
Right.
Like not just it's not just white people, it's black people, it's
Right.
what's this my Asian?
Tiny.
It's
Yep.
like yeah.
Yes.
So it's like there's all different kind of people with their hands in the pot because the most important color is green,
Yes.
and people will act in reverse
Their
of
self,
their
their
yeah.
self interest, their
Yeah.
personal self interest
Yeah.
when it comes about making money.
Yeah, when it comes to making money. And they
But
still
I'm not from New York, so I didn't know any of that. Like I didn't know um that there was a museum now that still have the plant, the small houses that were actually there at the turn of the century from this settlement, from these people, from this black I guess you would say just like Greenwood, you know what I mean? This black early settlement of just African diaspora people. And they still have the structures that were there. I didn't even know there was a museum that still existed. So that was dope.
yeah. And then we wonder about like just erasure and how not only are our communities being taken apart, but the memory of them, the history of them.
Right. Because that's what started the book. She was like, okay, I'm on this tour. You're talking about these, affluent white people who lived 100 years ago. There are actual people in this neighborhood now who have made black people, right, who are trailblazers, who are, worthy of mention, and you're not talking about that, right?
Yeah.
So that's how that's threaded all through the book. Like this is a reminder of what this neighborhood was, who was here, and the real richness of the soil, of the people, of the stock who were here. Like this is what's important, and this is what you're trying to erase. Literally, like the people in the book were like,
Yeah.
literally trying to disappear them.
I have an interesting question. Is there such a thing as ethical gentrification?
It can be. So I was like, as I was telling you before we pushed the live, that I'm from an area now, the Hill District of Pittsburgh, where the
Anita
people
says
of
no.
the community have been trying to push for ethical gentrification, right? For revitalization. You would call it revitalization because the neighborhood needs to be revitalized. It's been depressed all of these years. It needs funds. So how to do that? How to do that is to make the neighborhood mixed income so the people are not displaced. There are ways that you can do that, but often the city fights against that, right? Especially when you have people who want to invest millions of dollars in this neighborhood, private people, private money who want to invest in this neighborhood or in these neighborhoods. Then you have the David and Goliath, right? So you have the community who knows the area needs to be revitalized, but then you have the big money coming in and it turns into gentrification. Um, so yeah, it is a thing, but even when you talk about expats, right? We see expats going into different countries, and the people who live there are saying, "Hey, you know, you all coming here is causing our way of life to be thrown off course. We can't afford it anymore." But then the people who are coming is like, we want to help, right? We want to move into the neighborhood. We want to be a part of you. But then, right, what happens? The government, the landlords are saying these people, they imagine these people have more money, so they increase, they do the change. So is it the people who are coming in causing the gentrification, or is it the powers that be that's causing the gentrification?
And sometimes it is local people, at least with Bonita going off. You have a
That's why
point
she
there.
needed to be on. That's why you needed to be on. Send her a link so she can say it and we can't read it.
But there is something to that, and I think, like, I've said this before, like, I'm guilty of it. Like, I like to travel, and I would love a quaint coffee shop that's with a walkable street to get there, or my yoga studio, or whatever it is, a park, some greenery for my dogs, right? It's like you want those things when you go into a new place and you're willing to pay for it. But you have to also think about what happens to the actual community that you're going into.
Right.
And personally, I think yes, revitalization is good, but when you take their money, you have to deal with a lot of their BS. We
Mm-hmm.
saw that in my hometown in New Orleans a lot of the times, like when private investors came trying to, for instance, revamp the school system.
Right.
I mean, a lot of those charter schools, they want to teach you how to talk. They want to teach you how to eat. Like
Right.
in their lessons plans, it's telling you how to hold a fork. Certain like
Right.
they're pushing these ideas that change who people are in the communities
Mm-hmm.
that they come from. So it's like when you accept money, what also are you accepting when you take that money
Exactly.
to revitalize or to get your new building or to get your new park or whatever it is? That's where the
Mm-hmm.
problem comes from, because
And
the
then
money
most of the
isn't
people with
given
the
just for
money,
free.
right? Because most of the people with the money don't care. They
Yeah,
don't. They may say they care, and they say, okay, well, we'll listen. They come to the meetings and they listen, but then how much are they going to once they get the rights to it? How much are they going to adhere to what they say they're going to do?
that's true.
Hey, Amina.
Hey, Mina. Hey, girl. That's very true. What does this button do?
Bonita, they didn't push out Salem's. Salem's, the store was too big. This basically the store was too big. They overshot. The store was too big and too niche for the neighborhood. Um, and so I think with he couldn't keep it up. He couldn't the finances, he couldn't keep funding it for that long, because that's why the prices were so high. We weren't, he had a niche store. He wasn't serving pork, and he wouldn't sell pork, and he wasn't doing, selling cigarettes. So a lot of the communities weren't going there. And then he was selling stuff that, we normally don't eat. So the store size, I went every time I needed to go to a grocery store. But the store size, I think if he would have did a half of the store, he would have had a better chance of surviving. It was just too big for him to keep funding.
But Nina, if you really want to join, I send you the link. Don't feel pressure. She says I'm right. I love to hear I'm right. Exchange money to give them permission to rearrange the economic, the social feel of the neighborhood. Exactly. And then, the white folk apparently they nasty. They came with the bed bugs. I was disgusted when I saw that. That scene where she goes into Drea's house and she thinks that there's like a stain that looks like blood on the bed, and then she gets closer and it's just a pile of bed bugs. Oh.
But then I'm like, was the bed bug? I think the bed bug, I don't know. Because then she had me feeling like the big bugs was in her mind. But then when she saw them in Drea's apartment and it started moving, I'm like, oh, they're planting the bed bugs to get rid of the people. She did a real good job of like painting. Are you paranoid now? Are you doing this to yourself? I thought she was an unreliable character for a really long time.
Yeah, I didn't know how to. I kept going back and forth. Like I didn't know if I should trust her or not. I didn't trust Theo until the end. You gonna have to show me something. I really thought he was with them people. Like those
You
text
did?
messages. But those text messages, I was like, I knew it.
No, because it was her.
That
It was Lululemon's laptop. It wasn't his.
Yeah, but I wanted that to happen. I did not want Theo to be on the. I really wanted him to also be a traitor.
No, by the time she saw the messages, I was like, "Ma'am, calm down. That's not even. Ask him a question. Ask him something." Like I knew that was.
He was mad.
Yeah.
Amina says no, there wasn't bed bugs there. That was a little psychosis. Was it?
See, that's what I was like. When she seen it in Drea's apartment, I was like, "Are these real or is that in her mind?" I was like, "Is this?" Yeah, I was a little confused.
Benita still don't trust him. I don't trust him either. I don't trust him either.
He said he was too slow on the trigger.
Listen, this is why I need to. I want everybody. I'm gonna rewrite everybody's novels to suit my own narrative. Theo was working with them white folk.
Y'all are hilarious. He was to me, he was too slow. He couldn't have been on their side because he was slow. Slow.
He was slow.
He was too slow on the uptake. He wasn't a mastermind like that. He couldn't have hid it from her.
Kim was the one. I mean, obviously her dad, but Kim was she was like a super villain. Like when her dad died, she grew a new head. She increased in size. Like she was talking crazy.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, a new novel? Are you speaking about a new novel, Miss? She says, I'm working on one called The Four Horsemen. A Black woman is in charge.
What did y'all think about the I mean, we asked about the reveal of the mom, dad, and her putting it in the garden. But what I did like about this in comparison to when we read Zeal, her breakdown was believable. Like at the end when she was holding in, when she finally, told him that her mother was gone and she had buried that lady in the garden, like her frame of mind, we built up to that point, but I really believe that her breakdown was happening. Like that is how a breakdown feels. Like I don't have nothing to give. When she was sitting in that kitchen smoking cigarettes, like that is what a breakdown feels like. If y'all never had one, she described that to the T. I was like, this girl can write. And that's when we were talking about what was that guy's name in Zeal? Who was the guy's name? The contemporary one. When he was trying to get through the COVID.
I didn't remember his name when I read the book.
But that's what I needed. Like I see that's what I mean by the difference between describing and telling us what he's going through and showing us what she went through. Like, oh, this is what I needed for me to believe that he was having a crisis. Because when she, through all of this, when she finally got, I was like, yeah, this is goofy. This lady is losing her mind. She has lost it.
But we also didn't see much representation from Black men. We had the older Black men in the story. Yeah. Then we had the younger kids, but we didn't really, there was mention of like an ex that was kind of toxic. And then her ex-husband.
He was very toxic. Yeah.
Abusive and toxic.
Mm-hmm.
So
what was I didn't need one though in this.
Ooh, okay, well
I didn't need it in the story. I didn't need it. I loved Mr. Perkins. I love what he gave. We didn't need it. And what was the other elder in the group? I forgot his name. But yeah, it wasn't missing. I didn't need it.
Well, I think to paint a full picture of the neighborhood, we don't grow up. Yes, black women are like the force and driving force, but we don't grow up exclusive of black men. So they are around.
Yeah. I don't need it. I didn't need it in the story. I didn't miss it in the story. She didn't even mention her dad. She did. There was no mention of her dad growing up,
Oh,
and I didn't
well,
miss it. I didn't miss it. Not to
they
say,
was in the research facility. You're right. There was one man. Oh yeah, because the one guy who confront, I don't know what we would call it, came up to Theo and he thought that he was threatening him or something, and
yeah,
there was
yeah.
that whole ordeal, like, oh, he's on drugs, blah blah blah. Come to find out, he was in the research facility and they put him on something, that
Oh,
stuff.
Kevon.
Yeah, and then when Sydney talks about him, she was like, oh, he doesn't do drugs. He would never do drugs because he's
Yeah,
like
and the young
this.
guy, the Ned,
Yeah,
the
there's the
one who
young guy.
offered to his sister. Yeah, they were around, but they weren't central characters.
But he just said, I may need counseling.
It wasn't missing. I didn't even notice. What's wrong?
I think I agree with Amina. I think maybe they were in the research facility. Maybe they did grab the black men first, right? Because they would be the threat. The younger ones are probably the ones who most likely fight back or
Yeah,
recognize what's going on first. So you grab those up first, and then you take the old people. Then you take the if I was doing it, ideally
yeah,
you would think
yeah.
maybe.
That's what you take first.
Hi, Dr. Cheryl. Hey, everybody. Hey, A Ford. Good morning. Where you at?
Glad you can
Yeah.
join us.
Glad you can join
Yay.
us. Yeah. Amina says the absence of black men is telling in so many levels. Right. Because it's like the absence of them, on one hand, we could look at it and we could say, well, they don't help us much anyway. Right. So they wouldn't be present. But also, when we think about it and we dive into it a little bit, yeah, they probably were taken first. And there is one element that we know of. One, Kevon, I keep thinking of Love is Blind. Kevin, whatever. There's the element of like Kevon was taken first and put under drugs. So are they not
He was
on our
described as
team or
big.
are
He
they
was described as somebody who would have been able to protect, right?
right? So they're immediately removed. The threat is removed, and then they're allowed to do whatever they're allowed to do to the community. That's interesting.
But also, like talking about, like I noticed in stories in movies too. Like now that you know a lot of narratives are told from the woman, which is great. The women are they don't need protection. They are the aggressors, like the femme fatale characters in a
Yeah.
lot of just regular dramas, right? Where the men are playing um, more feminine, more less of being, I guess we can call it male toxicity, but like they are background players to the women in a lot of these narratives. So maybe that was intentional in this, so Sydney could stand out more. So Sydney can be the pure, the one who's the one who's going to take the shot instead of Theo. You know what I mean? Like maybe that was intentional because a lot of narratives nowadays are leaning on that.
Yeah. Hey, Edith. Hi. Welcome, guys. Bonita is saying perhaps missing men is normal, but missing women is not. They think women would be helpless. Yeah, but often in black communities, women are helpless. They're the backbones. So we saw that in this story a lot.
We saw that in Zeal. We haven't not seen that in most of the books we've read. We've read.
We only really read women authors, though, except that one time that I'm trying to block out from my mind. So I did not enjoy that book.
Uh, who is Tina?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
She said, "Don't say it." But
I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because a lot of people dragged us, but me specifically, for how we reviewed that book.
really,
Yes. If you go
off
to the
camera
comment section, no, you go to the comment section. A lot of people have some spirited dialogue. Um,
for her. Oh, for you when y'all did elephant. Oh, okay, elephants in the sky.
mm,
Yeah, sky full of elephants.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Amina says we need to examine how we use men and how their labor is important, but that's another conversation. Girl, I've been having the weirdest, the strangest. We've been having the strangest comments in the comment section tonight. Yeah, we can. Like we could think through like the absence of men or when they are present, what labor are they doing, in what capacity? Um, but I don't know if this story, like I like that there was so much going on in this story that it is like Benita and you say, like, you forget, oh, there's no black men. There's no like younger black men in this book. No,
Yeah.
middle age. Well, I don't know, middle age. What would you say? Like 30 something. Like Sydney
Yeah.
didn't have a black counterpart in
A
this story.
counterpart. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And even Drea didn't play a major. Well, I guess that's because they wanted her and Theo to interact more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wasn't a lot of major characters. Just Sydney, Theo. Everybody else was minor, so maybe that was by design. Um, the characters surrounding the suspense of the neighborhood, who made up the neighborhood. But
Yeah.
and the writing is tight. The writing is tight. Like aside from them being slow up on slow on the uptake, I think she had a job to do. She did it, and she put us in the mind of a person who was experiencing grief, a person who was experiencing her neighborhood changing, and then the thriller part was really engaging.
Amina, don't slap box in the comments. there's
Okay,
just so
well, do
many.
the dragon. I mean, what didn't you like about the book?
No, no, no. She's talking about elephants. She's talking about elephants.
Oh,
I think, Amina, you like this book, right? She's talking about elephants. Don't slap
y'all,
box
you
nobody.
listen. This is what I need to. I need to say this. You are. What are you judging the book? Whatever the book. Are y'all judging it based on what you wanted it to be, or the story he was telling? Like when you're reading a book, I don't expect the characters to be, because then that's be a boring book. If the characters did what you wanted them to do, the book is boring to me.
Sure.
I needed to be believable for what they have established. I needed to be layered. It was layered. I don't agree with the character. I don't agree, but if it's a good story, it's a good story.
We talking about elephant?
Yeah. I know what problems you had with it, but that's the story to be it. Okay.
Okay, no, no, no. Wait. Because that's a fair question, right? Am I upset that the book wasn't what I thought it was going to be, or am I upset at the actual story? So I'll answer it. I am upset that he didn't take the story in the direction that I thought it was going to go in. I thought we were reading a story about, and there's a reason why. It's because he promotes it as if it's going to be a story that's about a world of just black people living in the aftermath of white people disappearing and going to the ocean.
Parent.
But he sent, I think the issue is it's a story that you think is going to be about blackness and the celebration of blackness, and it becomes an exploration of whiteness and blackness in the absence of whiteness. That's the issue. Because he writes it in such a way that you think
Okay.
that we don't exist outside of whiteness. That's the
Okay.
issue. He
Okay.
makes whiteness the focal point, and I'm gonna die on that
Okay.
hill. I'm gonna die on that hill because it makes you wonder. if you're choosing to
But
write
then
this
the rest of the
story,
book would have been what? Just us celebrating each other. Like in order to have drama, you have to have conflict. You can't just write a blissful book about black people living. What does that book look like? What
well,
is
it
that
could.
book?
I mean, it could have gone in so many different directions. I think, like, listen, I've been saying I want to rewrite a lot of people's books. I want to
I
throw
know.
different stuff in there anyway.
I
I
mean,
do that
that's a
anyway.
natural thing. That's a natural thing,
I do
right?
that
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
But I
You
just think
need
it
to
could have
be
gone
on
in a
somebody's
lot of.
editing team.
I don't, because that's why I'm so happy I didn't go in that direction in life, because a lot of the books that y'all love,
Right. You
I'd be
couldn't
like,
be an editor
nope,
because you can't make a book be what you want it to be. You
I'm
have
gonna
to,
take over.
yes, you have to
When I
let
was
somebody
editing, I
tell the
was like
story they
rewriting.
want to tell.
When
Yes.
I was editing, I was rewriting entire sections. Like I've had arguments with authors, and
Yes.
when I was in my early 20s, I would be fighting them down. You actually don't know how to carry a story.
Oh my
I'm gonna make
God.
these changes. Like,
Oh, that's
in
hilarious.
another life, in another life.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so Benita says black joy, but he made the white gaze the focal point.
Yes. And then Anmina says, yes, celebrating that these people were gone and how some of us have that mindset would have been enough. I mean, I
But
think
then
like
what would
there's
the you
different.
have to tell me then? Because when you write, even in movies, like people are like, oh, we'll get into that, but like, oh, a drama is not a comedy. A drama, we have to have conflict. So if you take the conflict out, then what is the movie, the book? What is it about? If you take the conflict out, what is it about? Then you writing a comedy, or then you just writing an
You
essay.
mean to tell me there's no other source of conflict
I mean,
than
but then
what we
how
got?
many different story types are you going to tell? Like it, in order for it to be original, like original thought. Like I don't know. It's
And then for it to be held on media outlets as this is the black experience in America. We're really getting a sneak peek into how black
but
people think.
that's branding, that's marketing, that's the marketing part. Like people take that and run with it. You can do that with any book. You can do that with some books that ain't worth whatever. But they market it as whatever they want to market it so people can pick up and read it. But just like the Underground Railroad, the movie, which was a book, right? When I first, I'm like, I don't want to read nothing about a actual railroad, a actual, you know what I mean? Like people were like, this is not the Underground Railroad was this and this and the other. It's his story. Read the book. It's the story and the concept of the story. You can't make, or you can't, whatever you want a story to be, you write it then, right? You
That's
write the
fair.
book.
That's
You
fair.
write the book. If we don't have the stories that you want to see, then write the book. It's easy for us to say, I don't like these stories or this and the other when we're sitting back, but then to write the story that you want to read.
I never thought I'd see the day Yvonne get to windmilling behind a man child. Windmilling.
I don't need to read the
She's
book
dotting
over.
my
I don't
I.
need to read the book over, but that's the story he wanted to write. If you don't like it, write another one.
Well, you missed our discussion.
No, I saw it.
You saw
I saw it on the replay. I saw the discussion.
not
He
not
said we
okay,
need a
Tony
part two.
Burris. I agree with that. I agree with that. If you don't like that's why I said I will be rewriting everybody's
Yeah.
books. That's why I said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amina, you don't want me as your editor. I promise.
Mm.
I promise. I'll rewrite everybody's books. You got a
Look,
point. I'm not gonna knock the man. He got published.
but it's not. I don't have to read it again. I don't have to read. I didn't hate it like y'all hated it.
I don't hate it. I just don't think I was the right demographic for it. Just wasn't for me. It wasn't my preference. So
But Benita said you can edit her book too. Y'all gonna need because then what? You all have the same reading profile.
Oh, we do actually.
Bonita
Are
has
we the same
profile.
color? Or we're similar colors. So
she said she burnt the book.
like the picture, like the thumbnail I use of throwing it into the burning car. We are talking about a different book. We are not talking about.
I know this is so.
Just to be clear,
so
anybody watching this, I
this
just want to
tangent
say
is so unproductive.
We're not. We enjoyed When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. We were talking. Yes. We talked about something else.
Yes. For those who are just tuning in, we rarely agree on what books we both like, but we both like this book. We all kind of like this book. So we have.
This was a solid choice.
Yeah. You learn a little something. You learn a lot. It's relatable to a lot of Black communities, and it's an interesting ride.
Remember, Nick, keypad is crazy.
That's supposed to be you.
Crazy.
Reminds me of Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. What reminds you of that?
Maybe elephants.
Really? How so?
Now we need a part 2.
Listen, we need a part 2 because I love Invisible Man. You gonna have to.
If we do a part 2, I'm gonna have to reread. I don't want to reread that book, y'all.
That was autocorrect. Oh, she said the keypad was autocorrect.
Yeah, we enjoyed When No One Is Watching. Any other thoughts? Because we covered a lot.
Bonita. While y'all coming up with different questions, what do y'all suggest? What do y'all think about Kendrick being our next read?
Huh?
No? No? Yes? Okay.
I read Kendrick so long ago.
No, Kendrick, not that Kendrick. Kendrick, the new, what is it called? Is it called Kendrick?
You talking about the Octavia Butler book?
No. Tayari Jones.
I love Tayari Jones.
Her new book. Isn't it called Kendrick?
Is it? No, I love Tayari Jones, child.
It's called Kendrick.
Oh, it's called Ken. It's called Ken.
Oh, Ken. Okay, girl. Yes.
Now, Ken. The people like to use the library. Is it out yet?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be hard. You're right. It's out and everybody has got it. So it might be hard for the people to get it.
I would read Tayari Jones, but we could go back because I would love to talk about An American Marriage with somebody. I would reread that.
We could do that.
We could go back in preparation.
No, that was I misspoke. It's not Kendrick. I had Kendrick on the mind. It's called Ken, but it will be hard for people to get it on, especially out of the country.
Bonita has it. Amina says she'll buy it.
I'll buy it too. I like
I buy it too. I got some Audible credits. I know we boycotting Amazon, but I can't keep up.
I'm the only one boycotting Amazon. Ain't nobody else boycotting Amazon but me.
I hate to say it.
Everybody call me why you boycotting Amazon? I'm like, y'all.
You're like, there's a list. We have a list. We can't get it together. We can't organize for the revolution.
I'm like, whatever.
We need a Malcolm X of this generation. Like who are our thought leaders? Because they can't be.
They have a lot of thought leaders. They writing books, but they ain't.
Yeah, they writing books, but they're not in the streets.
We got a lot. Well, I should say we got a lot of James Baldwin's writing books, but I did start my Prime. Yeah, I started mine like 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
I don't have Prime. I don't watch Amazon. Nothing on. Don't nothing be on there anyway. I only had it to watch the TV. I wasn't ordering.
Amina, are you still in San Miguel? How long are you gonna be in San Miguel? Oh, you don't want. Wait. Don't answer that on the live.
She said Mercury retrograde on the
I always be asking people questions about their location on the live. I apologize. You could DM me that information.
So we'll talk about having Ken or another Tayari Jones book.
Yeah, we'll put it in the I know Cross is on. Are you watching Cross? Nah, I love that show. I love Cross and I love Paradise.
I
It's
love
good.
Paradise. Cross is
Oh, Amina, you lived there. I didn't know. I didn't know you had moved. Mercury retrograde ends on Friday.
there's a
Well,
there's
we want Mercury to take them retro braids out and get her life together because it's been a hot mess.
it has.
It's
It
been
has, especially yeah, it has. At the men's on what? On Cross?
Cross. On Cross. I'm sure. In
That's what
Paradise.
I can't come to San Miguel. Y'all ain't got enough.
I don't think they they don't have the men's in San Miguel.
They
So it
don't.
gotta be on TV.
They don't.
They gotta be on TV.
All right, we just in here on here kikiing. Um,
I know. So this was a great read. If you are interested in joining our book club, click the link in the description of this video. Join the Read and Wonder book club so you can discuss the next read with us. We will make a decision about what book we're gonna choose. I feel like it's gonna be a Tiara Jones book this month. So stay tuned. If you
thanks for
haven't
the
liked,
Bonita.
yes, thank you so much for the recommendation. If you guys have not liked the video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the Awkward Black Nomad and also Yvonne McBride Lit Life. Her YouTube link is going to be in the description of this video. If you want to get on stage and discuss the book with us, you can. Join the Read and Wonder Book Club. Click the link. What else is there? Notify. Click the notification button so you're notified when we go live. Okay, keep tabs on us on the social medias. All links are going to be in the description of this video. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, ladies. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Good night. Good morning. Peace out.